Hello everybody and welcome back to Saxlingham. So I'm just on the way to the store to go fill up with some net wrap, which we are having a bit of a change. So we've been, better turn, we have been using black net wrap, but today we're going to go move on to green, and I've just realised we may have a problem here. Will it fill it up with it being a different colour? Yes, okay, that's fine then. So it must use, or it may be using the black wrap first before we go on to the green. But yeah, the whole reason of filling this up is if you look at the top right corner, we do have two bale wrapping contracts to do, because I'm very much working on Walter. So we've got a rolling contract and a wrapping contract, because I am thinking 29 is where we want to be. We want to be buying that, in my opinion, because it's only 3% silty clay, the rest sandy loam, which I know is not great, and it's a minus 79% yield potential, but the price per hectare is we're getting 4 acres at £72,000 per hectare, whilst here, yes, we're getting 2 acres more, but we're paying £105,000, sorry, per hectare. So it makes quite a bit of difference, in my opinion. But right, we're going to start making our way back, and our first job is the field that we're going to buy, which annoyingly I'm guessing would mean that the grass is cut, so we won't be able to cut that for ourselves straight away. We're going to get that wrapped. We're then also going to go wrap the field that the other field that I just showed, in comparison, comparing the prices. We'll get those two wrapped in that time. Our rolling contract, that should be finished, and that'll give us another 10% off that field down the bottom, which will make it more viable for us to buy it. This really is a beautiful map. I think I may have even said that in the previous episode. Oh look, we're on a new wrap. But yeah, just little details like this. If we go have a quick run over here, I've only just noticed it. Well, I noticed it as soon as we got into the field. But the likes of that, how many maps do you see with just that sort of level of detail? It's fantastic. I think so far this map is the best map on 25. But right, we need to now go. We're going to go back to the yard, and we need to have a word with our man who's rolling, because I think they're finished at 94%. So we just have a look on here. They're in field 40. So the whole field's rolled, but yet the contract hasn't completed. Interesting. Oh, that worked field 89.6%, only 94%. This could be, I'm going to guess it is a mod conflict, I'm going to say. But like I say, if you look at that map there, the whole field's rolled. We haven't missed anything to do with it. So I reckon we can claim that contract back. We can claim the money for it. We'll cancel it, but claim the money because it's been done. And then we'll have to make a move to go up to our P field, which again, let's just have a look. Oh, the P field doesn't need rolling. So unless there's any other contracts worth doing, it looks like we may very well be moving on. So as we pull up here, we should really get this bale wrapper washed off, because that looks minging. But what we will do first is, if we just go to our contracts, we have these two to collect, so 8,600 and 13,600. We will cancel this, and I think we'll give ourselves 21,000, and then I think we can't be any fairer than that. So let's cancel, there may be a charge which we shouldn't be getting. Right, okay, there isn't. Right, we'll put the 21,000 in. There you go, the 21,000 for that. Now let's go to our pressure washer. We'll get this washed off, which is only 60 odd %, so it should clean up very nicely. And then I want to have a look at fields, because that field we've just been in, it was very, very pretty, and it seems to be all those fields down by the river or the stream, however you want to call it, are all very pretty fields. That one's cancelled, so we click collect. Is that where we're going to get fined? No, we haven't been. So if we go on to here now, I'm thinking 29. So if we click buy, 89,000, because we've got our discount, so we're going to buy that. And then we want to go to precision farming. We want to purchase soil information, which is terrible. And with that now purchased, we will most likely need to go lime and fertilise it, which I'm not going to use this tractor, so let's just turn that off for now. We'll run around the side, get into the fence, because we haven't used that for a while, I don't think, and we'll just go down and use our spreader. So we could go down with the sprayer, but I think it'd be harder work going with the sprayer, having to navigate the boom and whatnot, than it will do to go down with this. And I'm guessing with this being here already on this side of the shed, that it should be filled with lime. Yes, it is. So right, we'll get this field limed, and then we'll come back, we'll empty the lime out, load it with solid fertiliser, and then get it fertilised. So if you ever watched the FS Club, which I'll give him a big shout out, it's brilliant for news and knowing, hearing about the progression of maps and mods and all that sort of thing. He always does a question of the day. So I think for us, we may just steal that idea today and go and ask the question, is this the best map on FS25 so far? And do we think this will be the best map of the duration of 25? I think there's only one person who I can think of, well, there's two people who I can think of who may be able to top it. The main one, Oxygen David, I think he'll probably knock most maps, if not all maps, out of the park. And then the other is, I believe, Lancey Boy was his protege. So those two, and I know they're both working on maps, so I can't wait to see them, to see what they're like and play on them, basically. But I think this map is phenomenal. I think it'll take a lot of beating. But right, I think we can't really do much more today, because on the contract front it's been very, very light. If we look at, well, I can show you, if we go to the contract page, they are, there is some new ones coming. I'm not going to do the rolling ones because it doesn't look like that they pay, so I don't want to get too involved in all that. We can do bale wrapping, but we've already done 2 of them. That's why I've avoided those. And we could go and use a hoe, but the only problem is I don't own one, so I don't really fancy doing that for only £6,000. Where, to be fair, if it was real life, I'd be running and jumping at the opportunity to do that. Interesting. Yeah. But in this game, £6,000, it's, you know, you look at stuff like that, you think, is it really worth bothering? So what we are going to do is reverse, not drive forward. We're going to go back to the house, we'll rest, and we'll see what the morning brings us. Welcome to April. So the only real job that we have that we need to do on our field is go up to the peat field and spray it with herbicide. So once we get back to the yard, we're going to go jump in the class because it's got the narrow tyres on. I don't think the crop is at a stage of where we can do crop destruction with the normal tyres. Well, I say normal tyres, we normally go for wide tyres and wheel weights. So, but we'll still use this anyways. I think we're going to struggle to reverse that into the gap where we got it from. But we'll give it a go. That is, we won't. Okay, that was absolutely abysmal. Like I just said, we will give it a go, and hopefully this time we'll work out. Nope, that hasn't worked out slightly better. This is unbelievably narrow. It's like threading an eye. Nope. I'm going to say it's like threading through the eye of the needle, and that will do. I ain't going to mess around no more than that. And then our sprayer is on this side of the shed, just here, and I can't remember what's in it, but I'm going to guess it's liquid fertilizer. Not a lot of liquid fertilizer, so that's brilliant. And does that mean, do we have herbicide in here or not? Yes. So if we now try to do another fancy manoeuvre, trying to reverse through the gap of line bags and our JCB, and we can see if we can gather up that herbicide. Is there none left outside? No, I don't think so. Which, these trailers that we're reversing at the minute, they are very, very sensitive. The bale wrapper more so because it's so small, and this, I think the back wheel steer, so when you steer, your back wheels are steering at the same time, which then makes it a lot more sensitive. Right, there is 1,784 litres into here, and we'll make our way up to our pea field and go get that sprayed off, and then there's not much more we can do up there. So I never actually realised that the weeds, they disappear and they're replaced by a different one. Because if you look, if I just bring my mouse on here and let's follow this weed, just gone. So when it sprays, it deletes them and then puts new ones down. I always thought it would spray it, that one there, spray it, and then it changes it instantly where it is. But obviously on here, it's just putting fresh ones down. Like there, that one there, what happens to it? Gone. See you? You learn something new every day. Right, I am thinking, and that's a very, very dangerous thing, the fact that I've started to think, is whilst we're up here, I'm sure there was a weeding contract up here. Is it possible for us to do this weeding contract but do it with the sprayer and not the weeder? That's what I would like to have a look at. So whilst that's folding up, we will go to, I think it's field 47. 48, I think it is. On to here, where is, oh, I'm 47 to be fair. 47 and 48. So I think if we go 47, let's just accept that contract, considering that is just here. We'll have a drive to it, and if this works on 47, we may do 47 and 48 at the same time. If this, oh, hold on, we're already 94% complete. But yeah, if this works, if it lets us do it with the sprayer, obviously I'm unsure whether they'd want to do us to do it with the weeder that's provided, but we are certainly going to find out now. So if we get this unfolded, obviously it won't look our great because we've got a 36 metre boom, and in these fields they are 27 metres, I think I've roughly worked out for the tram lines. Obviously here we're just going around the field once, and then why does it say I don't have access? I can't really see anything it's spraying. Yeah, I'm going to say that means we need a weeder to do these contracts. And is it, before we waste any more doing that then, let's get that folded up. This is where there'll be a weeder in here. No, there isn't. So what would a weeder cost us? Where am I looking? Here. It's not really worth us buying one, I don't think. The only other thing that we could possibly look at doing is if we go for field 48, let's borrow the items there, and let's see if we can do this. Well, do these two fields using the same weeder. But anyways, we'll get ourselves back to the farm. We'll get this parked up, and then we will. Well, I'll bring you back up. Well, I'll bring you back when we're at the store, gathering up our tractor and weeder, and we'll see if this works. Because I hope it does. Well, if not, it's just a shame. It's one avenue of income that we can't look to benefit from. And I can't go through there because that's another field. I know one thing, we'd get told off if we were caught doing this in real life. Oh, and there's a big bump there. Right, back to the farm. This thing is ridiculous. It's huge. Like, is this, what I'll be very interested in, is this a European thing or an American thing, using these weeders? Because I've never had anything to do with one in my life. Fair dues, I haven't done much, you know, compared to a lot of people. I've done very, very little on the farming side, and my knowledge is very minimal. But I've never seen one of these being brought out to play. Well, neither have I seen a hoe being brought out to play bar in a garden. So, yeah, let me know. I will be genuinely be very, very interested to see whether this is actually something that we use here in the UK. Because it must just run down the rows of where all your seeds have been planted. Which then would mean you'd have to get a drill that would work in combination with this, you would have thought. It'd be all, I'll tell you, to get it all to work right so you're not ripping your own, you know, your seeds out the ground, it'd be some getting your head around, definitely. Well, these weeding contracts have now gone the other way. When we did one, it'd be a good few episodes ago now, it didn't let us, well, we weeded the whole field, but the contract wasn't complete, a bit like that rolling contract we've just done. Whilst now, we are, what we do, we're not even doing half the field maybe, or maybe doing just half the field, and it's saying it's done. That's very, very strange. But right, we will take this back to our, well, we'll take it back to our yard, and then the dealership can sort it out, gathering it up from there. And we will also have to look at collecting on our contracts, but again, we'll do that once we've got back back to our yard and got all our paperwork sorted for it all. And that is, if we just have a quick look, that's what the pea fields look like. I would have thought there'd have been a bit more, a few more pea like plants in there, but anyways. And I know one thing that I was actually watching a video the other day, and I completely forgot about it, was the weeds in when you're just playing base game without precision farming. It was unbelievable how many actual weeds you did have in fields, but now with precision farming you have a lot less. So I'm going to just leave this here. The dealership can come collect it, and we'll have to have a think of what we're going to do in the next episode. I think we'll probably move on another month, but right, let's go. Contracts. So let's complete. So let's gather that 8. Was that 18 or 8,000? Can't remember. And then this 8,000 in. So this just keeps the bank balance ticking over. And as you can see, we're back up to £100,000. But by the time we rest, there'll be 17. I can't remember now. Yeah, £17,000 going out. So we'll be back underneath it again. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've all liked and enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye for now.